It's so good, man. The MCU could never write something like this. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Right.
This nearly brings Logan to
Thank
tears.
you. Logan sacrificed himself for the mutant race. Such a beautiful time it was indeed. We about to watch Blank Boy hit this full court shot off the Logan movie because, bro, like, he knows it. He knows that Logan is the best Marvel movie to date. We're going to discuss why that is. I'm actually about to hit that sub button already because if he's already saying Logan is the best Marvel movie to date, like, boy, I know you know your stuff, boy. You know your stuff. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys are thinking, which Marvel movie you guys think is the best Marvel movie and why. Whenever I come back to watch this movie, I will cry. Every time I come back to this movie, I cry. So it's gotta be one of them ones for real.
Logan to me is the best Marvel movie to date, with Thor: Love and Thunder being an obvious close second.
Thor: Love and Thunder, I don't know. I don't even think I gave Love and Thunder a chance for real, to be honest.
To be able to get this great of a crafted character study, you gotta go past a whole lot of Kevin Hart quality films in Marvel and go back to like the Sam Raimi trilogy to find this. So today, I'm gonna talk about why Logan is the best Marvel movie of all time. Logan is a movie that focuses almost entirely on the emotional and broken lives of the characters within it. If you guys have been following, I love a good depressing movie, don't I?
Right.
If it don't got me contemplating watching kick streams because I'm so depressed and want to torture myself, if it don't got me on the brink of tears posting Bart Simpson edits to XX
Facts though. That's the best kind of movie though. He ain't lying.
Tentacion and Juice WRLD music, if it don't make me sad to the level of washed up Disney actors making podcasts to beg for a reboot, I don't want it. It is literally Logan trying to get this one little girl, no R. Kelly, from point A to point B while they're being hunted. The plot and the villains, while they do have their own tension and create high stakes, the heart and soul of this movie lies within the dynamics between Logan, Professor X, and Laura, aka X-23. And before we get
beautiful dynamic, Wolverine, his little counterpart, and Professor X just on the road, it's such a beautiful dynamic, dude. Love it.
Dynamics hold weight and really carry the movie, I think it'll be good to establish the individual state of being that different characters have through the movie, then how they intertwine in the end. So naturally, we're gonna start with the main man, Logan. Logan in this movie is Celtic Shaq, way past his prime. Imagine going from superhero saving the world to a limo driver driving around the cartel and shit. Got 3 Mexicans, Walter White and Jesse, in the back of your car, and then he has to kill them after they whip out shotguns on him, and he had to show them Unc still got it. Yep. And using this scene to open up the movie is really good because it instantly showed us that Logan is not what he used to be. D-tier bad guys had him gasping for air like Rod Wave taking 2 steps. He was extra.
It's sad seeing Logan get beat up by a bunch of whatevers, but nah, he still showed them. He still showed them though, like why, you know, he ain't nothing to with. Logan put that pain on it.
It's because they damaged his car that Abraham Lincoln gave him as a gift. He needs this car for his limo job. Nobody want to ride around in a limo that got Swiss cheese holes in it. The first person gonna get in and be like, damn nigga, who you drove before this, King Von or something? That limo is important. It gives him the beastly $6 per day he needs to take care of himself and Professor X, cause they're both dying. For Logan, the adamantium skull that once damn near made him invincible is now literally poisoning him, and he's actively dying, living out his days as a limo driver and taking care of Professor X, who's lost his mind, like any nigga who bet on.
And Professor X losing his mind and being crazy and like that is dangerous. Professor X has a seizure, everybody's dead. Like, that's hilarious.
Jake Paul to beat Anthony Joshua. For Professor X, he's dying from a disease called oldness. All the X-Men are dead. Jean, Storm, Cyclops, Beast, all the important ones, and Iceman.
Everybody
literally
died.
All dead. In this world, mutants are considered extinct. For the best Wolverine movie to be one that doesn't really feature mutants at all is a feat on its own. That really just speaks to how well made this movie is. It completely breaks the superhero trope of a strong man who saves the day from the evil villains, which are what most of the Wolverine movies are up until this point.
Right.
Here, Logan is a complete shell of himself. There's nothing particularly cool or inspiring about him anymore. He's a has-been like Fetty Wap. He can barely even walk straight, walking with a limp, but he ain't a pimp.
He's a badass has-been. Wolverine could be walking on crutches and I'm still gonna say he's badass. Like, has-been or not, he's still everybody else. I don't give a
That's called mother bars, nigga.
That's called
come out.
Gosh,
Nigga
nigga.
having performance issues. He's trying to get bullets out of himself in order to heal, and he's
That was
constipated,
perfect
nearly
timing.
himself to push them out. He's broken, not just physically, but also mentally. The superhero mindset he once had is gone. A woman approaches him at a funeral when he's working a limo job for his help, and he wants absolutely nothing to do with her.
Get the fuck away from me.
Get
He's
the away.
exhausted physically and mentally.
Get
He's
the
terrified
away
of
from
bringing
me.
any more potential violence in his life, even if it means not helping someone who may be in real need. The old Logan would have been celebrating like he just won Game 7 at the thought of going on a mission to kill somebody. At this point, he has a real and traumatic fear of commitment and responsibility. He doesn't believe he has what it takes to be a protector that this woman needs, and later on, we learn about his fear of being a father figure too. I guess that's all y'all niggas' excuse for going to get the milk too, huh? So he doesn't even consider assisting her at first. Well, we see how eventually, despite that feeling, he overcomes it like how a true hero would. It's like they say, courage isn't not being afraid. Courage is acting even when you are afraid.
Right.
And I think seeing Logan in a state where he's not so confident in himself at all anymore, where at the first sight of potential danger, nigga tried to buy a boat so he could dip. The Logan we knew ran towards the fight. Now he's moonwalking away from it by any means, even if it requires turning into Christopher Columbus and sailing. He doesn't.
I mean, after all the damage he's done, all the killing he's been through, all the stuff he's been through, I'm sure he doesn't want any parts anymore to deal with anything and wants to just go live off the rest of his days in the woods with a bear, like we seen in Wolverine. What was it? I think it was just called the Wolverine or whatever. But that one was good too. I like that one.
Feel that sense of responsibility. He's simply waiting to die. And yet still, he ends up embarking on this mission and ultimately giving his life for the cause to save mutant children. This quite literally is the most heroic and most Wolverine thing ever, even more so than slicing up evildoers like Bob and curing world hunger with his belly meat. It's great writing. This is Wolverine when on first glance, this is the least Wolverine he's ever looked. And this approach to a Wolverine movie is genius. It's not some super revolutionary concept, the idea of taking away a really strong character's powers from him, like I spoke about in my ranking every MCU movie part 1. In Thor 1, they take away his powers, but they did it in an ass and lazy way. And that movie is just visual NyQuil, straight melatonin gummies for your eyes. Here, it's done really well and has a purpose outside of we need strong character weaker so there could be stakes. Logan's powers aren't just being lost, they're actively killing him, which symbolically holds a lot. The powers that made him the hero he once was and made him take so much life, body count higher than LeBron's age, is now collecting its toll on him. And also the concept of a Wolverine movie where he's dying hits different, because up until now, the only trauma regarding Logan that he's had and we have experienced as viewers is that of others close to him. So to see the danger and ticking time bomb of death looming, you know it's coming, and it's on himself, the guy we've always known who can handle anything, really pulls at the heartstrings in a completely different way. But they don't present it in a way that only if you watch the 18 other X-Men movies you can know. Anyone can enjoy it and feel it. They provide just enough context that the X-Men were a group like One Direction that he was a part of and are gone now if you've never heard of them under that rock you sleep with Patrick Star. And just enough context about the world's relationship with mutants. Humans wanted to do mutants like this for parking tickets back in the day. It's just enough context that anyone can watch this as a standalone movie and it'll hit the same. The tension that the movie starts.
I don't know about that. I don't know. Like you can watch this just like if you've never seen a Wolverine movie before, never seen an X-Men movie, you would watch this and it would still hit the same. Maybe, but not to the extent in which I feel that, or some of you guys might feel that when watching this. Because again, like if you've been watching all the X-Men movies all the way up to this point, this was like the pinnacle, low key. It was just so raw. I don't know how to explain it more than that. Like it just, you got that feeling from it that's just like, I don't know, it's just harsh. It was a harsh movie.
First encounter Logan has with the main villain is a great piece of dialogue that helps build the world, informing us of what the future has become and giving examples of how things have changed. Sets up the conflict that the crazy lady in the rain is looking for Wolverine and she took X-23 from this bad guy, so he's looking for her. And Wolverine is looking for some booze to drink his horrible life away. No money, no girl, no kids, no friends, a bad haircut. This nigga life terrible. Logan is hiding Professor X and this bad guy knows where that is. All of that in one convo, and not for a second did it feel like just exposition slop to us. It's all in a great cohesive conversation that really feels nervy and intense, setting up the plot and conflict of the movie, while still leaving enough holes for us to be curious on how they get filled, keeping you really engaged. Unless you got a TikTok brain, then maybe throw some Subway Surfers at the bottom and then it'll really keep you engaged. And it's from here we get to actually see, after hearing about Professor X, the state he's in. A once cool, calculated, intelligent, powerful, passionate, kind man is now reduced to somebody's Alzheimer's granny, all grumpy, shitting himself in a chair all day, yelling about hearing voices, cursing out clouds. Half the time, he doesn't even know where he is. He isn't aware that he killed the X-Men. He got old and lost control of his powers and his mind. And he's only alive right now because Logan tends to his every need, wiping his ass and giving him bedtime stories, which is nice. I know some of y'all evil motherfuckers gonna put your mom in a nursing home and throw up D's at her while you leaving. Even in his current state, Logan still has so much love and respect for him that he's gonna take care of him till he's dead. Yep. The man who once took care of all the mutants now needs to be taking care of himself. They're all each other have at this point. And seeing that bond from how it's changed, but the love is still there, as well as with Laura, who we'll get into soon, is, like I said, the heart of the movie. It's depressing and emotional as hell to see the heroes that once seemed untouchable look like homeless crackheads washed up. Logan barely capable of walking and Charles barely able to make a sentence like Mike Tyson. Charles always said mutants were a part of God's plan, no Drake. And Logan says maybe we're God's mistake.
Maybe we're God's mistake.
Just further showing how broken he is at this point. There's been no new mutants born in 25 years. He's given up on the vision he once believed alongside Charles pre-losing his mind. I also tell you guys, I love when a movie can show you and doesn't need to tell you. A lot of Marvel writing is just them telling you, but here they don't.
Right.
Take this scene right here for example. Logan is sitting at his bedside, downing some Ciroc, Diddy somewhere happy as hell watching this, with a hand wrap on, Wolverine needing bandages, shaking, incapable of relaxing himself without any substances, longingly looking at his dog tag. This scene gives off so much information about his state of being without him having to tell the audience what his state of being is through exposition. Right. If this was the MCU, Iron Man would have been like, I am feeling bad and lonely because everything has been taken away from me. I need booze to try to get to sleep.
Yo, this dude, he's a shooter. He knows exactly what's going on with the MCU, with these movies. Like he's tapped in for sure.
First, a great writing team can convey that to you without telling you it, just like I showed in the Planet of the Apes video, for example. And just to really hammer in the point, we get a scene with this character, I forgot his name. He looked like Voldemort, the low on vitamins looking ass nigga, who was telling Logan how he found his adamantium bullet he keeps around. Logan carries around an adamantium bullet because he constantly considers the idea of just ending it all at one point. This is him at his absolute lowest we're seeing. But things start to change for him when Gabriella gets a hold of him again. She has this little girl Laura, explains she's on the run and needs to cross the border with Logan's help, offering him $50K to do it. Logan's still very reluctant, doesn't want to, but he does need the money, so he could buy a boat for himself and Charles to go out on the ocean and die on. So he agrees. But first he stops to tell Charles he's gonna be gone for a few days, and by the time he gets back to the hotel to take her and Laura, she's already been found and killed. The ops had a UAV and found her location ASAP, now placing Laura into Logan's possession, with bad people coming after the both of them. And we get to see how Charles, even in this state of losing his mind, is so excited that Laura is a mutant and wants to take her under his wing, while Logan doesn't believe him that she's even a mutant. And when the agents are coming to get them, he straight up says, "Bitch, I'm out," and is ready to joke with Professor X, leaving Laura behind, saying she's not our problem. Logan said, "F them kids." The mission was purely transactional for him. It wasn't until Laura starts turning the agents into literally salami meat with her claws does he realize, oh shit, she really is a mutant. She's like us. Then is when he actually cares enough to even let her.
And X-23, dude, this scene when X-23 is just ravaging, like going crazy on all these Reavers and stuff is chef's kiss, dude. Logan just has that, I hate using this word, but the Logan movie has an aura about it that's just, it's like, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like strong. It's like strong hitting. It's not holding anybody's hand. It's not trying to sweet talk you through anything. It's just like, like, I don't know how to explain it besides that. Maybe you could pick up something from that, but like, that's how watching the Logan movie feels. It's just raw, authentic, just brutality, just
in the car, and that is the catalyst alongside convincing from Charles that makes him decide to take on the mission, even in Gabriella's death. You see how quickly in the beginning Charles cares for Laura and she cares back. They tend to take care of each other, even in the littlest scenes, like them driving off from the agents and Laura protecting Professor X from bullets. Their bond is one that grows fast and strong, but not in an unnatural way, but more so in a way that joint trauma creates heavy bonds.
Yeah.
And it's here we start to get more context around Laura through a pre-recorded live stream Gabriella made in case she died. In between thanking her chat for the gifted subs, she explains that Laura was raised in a lab by scientists, with a bunch of other mutant children who were also created, who've known nothing but the lab, never seen the ocean, the sun, sand, grass, never known love, celebration. The scientists literally say,
"Don't think of them as children, think of them as things."
don't think of them as children, think of them as things. Their mothers were random Mexican women who no one's heard of since, and their fathers are DNA from bottles. We hear about this, but the phone dies, and then the camera pans to Laura riding the mechanical horse. Blank expression, showing us the extent to how her childhood has been ripped from her. It's so good, man. The MCU could never write some shit like this. I'm sorry.
Right.
This nearly brings Logan to tears.
Thank you.
Charles tells him that Laura is clearly his child, that this is a mission he must do, this is your daughter, and you took that woman's money. This is the moment we see a sense of responsibility kind of creep its way back into Logan, oh so very slightly. Later, Logan continues the video after charging his phone, and we learn that the scientists built X-24 and decided they didn't need the kids anymore. So as they're about to kill them, the nurses help them escape, and there are a bunch more going to North Dakota just like Laura. The best stories to me tend to be the ones that are the most simple. I don't need a convoluted 19-step with 16 different twist plot. This is simply a mother figure who wants her daughter to reach safety and needs someone much stronger than her to do it. That's it. The simplicity of it is what lends itself to feel so personal as a viewer. We can all imagine that feeling. We can all think of our own mothers and what she'd do to bring us to safety. And we can feel like, man, how can you tell this mother in need no? After everything she's tried to do so hard for the good of innocent children, for the good of the only mutants that remain, the lasting legacy of your race, you can't tell her no. And this speaks to Logan, because for one, there's the fact that Laura was created using Logan's DNA, making her genetically his child, which breeds a paternal connection over her from him, and also, she's a clear reflection of his past and himself. Her story of being an experiment directly mimics his own experience, and there's clearly this sort of struggling with the guilt of his past that he's still dealing with, and this can be seen as a chance to protect an innocent child and do something good, as only he can understand the pain of being a weaponized mutant like her to her in this moment. Like I said, shared trauma creates bonds, which ultimately the journey allows Logan to accept his role as a protector and a father figure, bringing him the eventual closure before his death that he needed. It's an amazing character journey. And in the second half of the movie, it fully becomes an on-the-run film. Crazy moments and close calls with the agents, which are always intense, worrying, keep the heart pumping, are great, but it's in the quiet moments with the dynamic of these three when the movie is at its best for me.
Yeah.
Professor X showing Laura his favorite movie from when he was a kid 8,000 years ago, old ass nigga. Them in the car ride where Logan and Professor X are arguing and Professor X asks him does he not derive any sense of purpose from this mission. We have a young mutant in the car and are taking her to meet a bunch of others and you don't feel anything about that. Logan simply says, no, I don't. We know deep down you care a lot though, Logan. This nigga lying. And when Logan, Laura, and Professor X meet the Munsons, that's a huge moment in their character arcs while not being super epic initially. The Munsons, from a thematic standpoint, are such an important part of
them meeting this family was such a beautiful moment because they finally got the chance to chill, relax, rest, have that kind of dynamic where everything feels okay. We can have a good night's sleep, wake up, okay, not having to run or anything. This movie was just so good.
The story because they represent the normal, peaceful life that our characters couldn't have. Their encounter is warm and homey and acts as another catalyst for Logan's emotional arc and eventual redemption. They give Logan a glimpse into humanity that he hasn't seen in decades, showing them love, stability, a calm domestic life that completely contradicts the violent, isolated world Logan has become so accustomed to. They don't have to watch their back to go to the corner store the way Logan does. Nigga be in the corner store buying Nutter Butters with half a claw out cause he's on edge all the time. And Charles uses this as a lesson to Logan. A lesson in hope and love. He tells Logan to take a moment, feel the warmth of the situation.
Right.
But Logan is still so reluctant and headstrong on the fact that his life is hopeless. You're not Tony Snow, bro. There's still hope for you, Logan. I'm telling you. Charles tries to tell him that he has time to make it good, but he won't even entertain that idea. Logan leaves the room, we cut away, and then eventually cut back to Charles sleeping. Him thinking Logan has re-entered the room and telling him this was the most perfect night he's had in a long time.
Perfect night.
But then
he also exclaims how he now remembers the fact that he killed the mutants accidentally, but it isn't Logan. It's X-24, and he stabs Charles with a fatal blow. It's just such a heartbreaking scene.
Yeah.
There's Charles, mind fully clear for the first time in a long time, feeling gratitude and having clarity on his past, and it's met with his immediate murder. He never even got to say this to Logan himself.
Right.
The first thing Logan tells him when he sees him is, "It wasn't me. It wasn't me."
the saddest part in the whole entire movie, dude. Like, oh my god. Professor X, well, actually not the saddest part in the whole entire movie, but it's probably second, and first being Wolverine dying, obviously. But this scene, dude, when X-24 comes up there and Professor X thinks he's talking to Logan and he's really talking to X-24, and 24 just goes up to him and stabs him in the chest, dude. It's just like, no, dude, like they just had a perfect moment. They just had a perfect day, low key. They were literally about to end the day perfectly. But no.
It was me.
The Munsons also get murdered by the clone X-24. The death of the Munsons, and particularly Charles Xavier, breaks Logan's final ties to his old life and forces him to dedicate himself entirely to saving Laura, prompting his final stand. It's the final push for him to go all in, because for him, the only thing that he's cared for, being Charles, is now gone. And for the first time, Logan shows us how broken he really is, burying Charles and is brought to tears while doing it, saying out loud, "Well, it's got water."
It's got water in there.
The dream was for them to go out on a boat and die out there, but they were unable to reach that ideal final destination together. So again, well, it's got water, as in, it's good enough. And this is a small symbolic gesture to honor that dream of finding peace, contributing to the movie's big theme of finding peace in inevitable
I never even caught that that he was talking about, like their boat dream or whatever, going and dying on a boat. I never got that from this scene where he was burying Charles and he was like saying like, well, it's got water and stuff. I wasn't thinking that he was getting emotional about them not being able to make it to that point. You know what I mean?
death. They actually end up reaching Eden, and here is where we probably get some of the most important conversations regarding Logan's character in any X-Men movie probably ever. Logan has a nightmare, probably saw Toad's ugly ass face, and him and Laura talk about their nightmares. She says she has nightmares about people hurting her, and he says his are of him hurting people. She asks him about the bullet he carries around, and he says he kept it before as a reminder of who he is, but now he keeps it to potentially shoot himself. She then says how she's hurt people too, and he tells her she's gotta learn to live with that. Very clearly by the expression on his face and what we've seen so far, you can tell he still hasn't figured out how to do so himself. It's so much being said with such little actual words being said. It's for the first time an emotional turning point that shows a coming together of their relationship, the acceptance of their shared trauma. The scene transforms their dynamic from reluctant guardian dealing with a bratty kid and carries a much more parental feeling, with both deeply scarred by their past existence as weapons. Logan is expressing to her his feeling of PTSD and survivor's guilt. She tries to differentiate herself by saying that the people she hurt were bad people, to which Logan says, all the same.
All the same.
Regardless of who or what the reason was that you murdered, it's still a heavy pain that you will always have to carry. It's a genuine moment of vulnerability from Logan. It's a moment where he doesn't reject her anymore. In fact, he opens up to her about the weight of his existence, letting her into his dark-ass, depressing-ass world. It's a change in him. He's still a dick, I mean it's Wolverine, that's his thing, but it's gotten to the point for him where he rejects the money for the mission at the end because it's no longer about that at all for him. It's about their safety, genuinely. But he won't allow that for himself. He's not gonna go with them, and that makes Laura mad. He gets angry, exclaiming that he didn't ask for this shit. Charles is dead, Voldemort is dead. He rejects the idea that they are a family. He brought her where he said he would, and says that he thinks it's better this way, that they stay apart. He sucks at being any sort of loving figure for people, saying bad things always happen to people I care about, admitting that he cares about her, but also encapsulating his survivor's guilt, his fear of intimacy, and his internalized trauma after centuries of violence and loss. In all truth, he does care. He cares so much about her that he won't allow himself to feel potential happiness by going with them and seeing the other side of that, because in his mind, that wouldn't be keeping her safe. But this was just a lob to set up the ultimate restoration. Logan wakes up and sees that the kids have left and realizes the agents are gonna catch them. He has his final superhero final battle moment, defeating everyone with the help of the children, and is on his deathbed with Laura, where he tells her, "Don't be what they made you." She calls him her daddy, and his final words before dying being, "So this is what it feels like," before dying while holding his daughter's hand. For the first time, Logan in that moment allowed himself to experience true love, family, and peace, for the first time recognizing her as his own family. After a lifetime of violence, trauma, and acting as a weapon, Logan finds a moment of quiet, genuine connection before dying, and it's immediately ripped from him and us by his death. It's truly heartbreaking. It took his old ass 10 lifetimes to finally experience the love that he's truly yearned for all along, and it only lasts a moment. But what a beautiful moment it was. His death completely contrasting his life, the painful, never-ending life, and the peace and a meaningful death surrounded by family. It's the perfect ending to a beautiful character arc in this movie.
This dude was 100% on point with everything he's been saying now. 100%. This dude's a shooter for sure.
Great idea to make a movie about a story that decides to focus on the intimate, emotional storytelling, exploring themes of morality, trauma, and redemption around a character who has so much emotional baggage as Wolverine does. Every scene serves the character's journey rather than the plot necessarily, making the action feel more meaningful and the emotional stakes high. And don't get it twisted, this movie still has the more mindless, epic superhero shit that you want. He may be old, but like I said, Unc still got it. The beginning fight with Logan versus the cartel members was heat. He left them in portions of their original selves. The scene of Logan and Laura versus the agents outside of his hideout when they escape with Professor X was fucking amazing. You get to see how capable Laura actually is, and it's the reveal of her mutant abilities. She's a natural at this psychopath shit. The casino scene where Logan is in slow motion because of Professor X's powers going haywire and is able to come in and stop the soldiers while they're immobilized was dope. While tragic, the fight on the Munson's house with the introduction of X-24 was insane, seeing how overpowered he is, on the edge of your seat, wondering how the hell they're gonna get out of this. And then of course the final battle, seeing Logan save the mutant race by sacrificing himself, Logan going out like Wolverine one last time. This movie has the emotional weight, the characters care in their writing, an engaging plot, the action you want from a superhero film, if you even want to call it that. I don't know if this is really a superhero movie. It feels so different from anything else. The setting is great. For the most part, it's a barren wasteland, most settings being very quiet and intimate, really having you hone in on the characters, isolated farmhouses, desolate highways, sterile motors, and intimate spaces. The world feels like it's dying in the same time that Logan is. The villains aren't exceptional, but this story isn't about them. They serve their purpose. Pierce is extremely charismatic and intimidating. The scientists are creepy, cold, calculated, and X-24 works as a perfect foil to Logan, who at this point is a really good reminder of who he used to be and what he once was capable of. Logan is so good, and y'all know how much I love Spider-Man 2. I said that's my favorite Spider-Man movie, but that's my second favorite Marvel movie, and it's because Logan exists. Hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe.
Blank Boy, he knows exactly what he's talking about. This dude We're gonna be coming back to this channel a lot more. Hopefully he's okay with me doing this. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about that down in the comments below. When Logan sacrificed himself for the mutant race. Logan was the greatest X-Men Wolverine movie, MCU movie, even though it's not really an MCU movie. The MCU could never make a movie like that. Could never. Now would be a great time to go watch that movie. The perfect time to go watch that. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys are thinking down in the comments below. That'll do for me, boys.